I'm Regina Howard, and we are here with Neo Soul at the 17th Annual Trumpet Awards, and we are excited today because we have the honor and the privilege of interviewing none other than Louis Gossett Jr. And he, of course, is noted and admired by so many of us as an actor, and he's done and accomplished so much, and we're proud of him. And he's here this weekend to celebrate with us. Mr. Gossett, how are you doing?
I'm very blessed. It's wonderful. You know, I segued from Washington, D.C. to watch that incredible event to come down here.
And that's exactly what he said, incredible. He came from the inauguration to here, so he's celebrating and just having a wonderful week filled with events. Talk to us a little bit. We know you from your wonderful movie acclaims, and it's evident to everyone for younger generations to be very, very familiar with An Officer and a Gentleman. Mm-hmm. The drill instructor that gave everybody a hard time, but only out of trying to drive them. That same drive that you used in that movie to drive Richard Gere, would that be the same that you would use to drive some of our young people today?
Well, I think some of our young people see, we've been even the best of us still have to overcome the second-class citizenship in our minds and stuff, because it has to be in the DNA on both sides for us to have been the way we are for years and years and years. All of a sudden, we can't use it anymore. Mm-hmm. We have an African-American president, and he's opened up all the gates, all the floodgates, and our young people might not have learned how to be three-dimensional, fully equipped and ready to be equal Americans. And they need that kind of a mentorship, that kind of constant love. When they don't get it, you see this gangbangers. When they don't get it, you see them going left, and you see some of them who might be exceptional athletes going crazy, and they're in the headlines today. And all because they didn't learn those proper things that needs to be a man and a woman before even school. So that DI, he needs to have a little love this time for our children, because there's nobody there to teach them. There's got to be some place for them to learn how to behave themselves, how to know about the history. It's not on our screens, not on television, it's not in schools. It used to be in the family, so we need to replace all of that for these young people to know exactly who they are. And once they know exactly who they are, of course, there can't be any negatives that we plant in their seeds, in their personalities. So by the time they take over, things get better. So it's a different kind of application to these young people we need. And they're kind of sponges. They're kind of sponges these days.
Now, working with Tyler Perry, who himself has come from hard times and followed after his dream, acquired his dream, two different generations. Mm-hmm. You working with him working with you. What was that like? He's
my leader. He's one of the leaders anyway. That's what it is. It's like I had an interview with this young lady who's on track team. It's a relay match, you know. I get the baton and give it to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry gives the baton to some other young person, and that's where we are naturally. It started in Africa that way, by being responsible for the next generation. So when those kids watch us, they don't see our negatives, they see our positives. That's the way we used to be. We got to get back to that, and the rest will take care of itself.
And you portrayed that and depicted that in the 1977 miniseries Roots. Oh, yeah. How Alex Haley went back into his roots and to his generations and shared that. What type of an experience was that, working on that miniseries?
That was incredible. We thought it was finally we got a chance to say in public what we already knew was happening. But the only thing that I could compare that with was just the other day when that man put his hand on that Bible. I was with Cicely Tyson. She passed out. I had to catch her. And she went to tears. She cried for every negative thing that ever happened to any black person or to her. And then now the rest is just all those people who doubt that it happened. We need to hug them and let's get on with it. We need to get on with it. The country I'm very proud of. They put the right man in the White House. Well, now that's just only the beginning.
And the thing about that, Mr. Gossett, is it's not about color with him. No. It's about change totally and completely. And for you to have been a part of that, and even those of us who were at home and we watched it, being a part of it, I think it did something and changed each one of us in a very, very special way.
Well, you know, Washington, D.C. is the #1 murder capital in the world, and not one incident happened in 48 hours during this thing. Not one incident happened with 3 million people in the #1 murder capital in the world. The other part is when Barack Obama went to the Middle East, the enemy dropped his weapons so that nobody died when he went back there. Somebody's telling us something, so maybe we should pay attention and go along that follow with the momentum of we're going to one nation, one people, And then we can show the rest of the world by example how it's possible.
You've heard it right here on Neo Soul from Mr. Louis Gossett Jr. Go on Google. Don't Google up the lyrics to your favorite song, but Google something about Louis Gossett Jr. Google something about your newly elected president, the 44th president, Barack Obama. Learn something about that. And then you can also learn something about eracism, which is the foundation that was founded by Mr. Gossett. Find out what eracism is all about. We want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come here. Even though you're here for the Trumpet Awards, thank you for taking the time to share here with Neo Soul.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you. We thank God for you. And we wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Regina Howard for Neo.